On a chilly Sunday in Dallas, DBU looks to close the weekend on a high note after a pair of tough losses to Western Kentucky. The Patriots' Ryan Borberg gets the ball today in the series finale of this Conference USA matchup at Horner Ballpark. And hello, everybody. With Brendan Smith, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. Patriots have found themselves on the wrong end both games here this weekend. Friday, a one-run loss to the Hilltoppers. Yesterday, Western Kentucky dominated in every phase.
Yeah, an 11-0 run rule victory, and they jumped out of the gates and took advantage of a couple of early walks. Did have some offense, early 3 runs there in the first inning. Camden Ross continues his hot series. He's got 6 RBIs on the weekend. Ryan Weidman came alive with a couple of RBIs, the same for Kyle Hayes. It's the first series loss for DBU this season, and Western Kentucky, with this offense and what they've gotten on the mound, they're on the verge of a potential sweep.
Yeah, they have shown why they have the top ERA in the country. And our own Alexis De La Garza has more on Dawson Hall's outing yesterday and the work that pitching coach Dylan Napoleon has done with his staff. Alexis?
Hey, guys, I mean, we've seen how solid this pitching staff has been over these past 2 days, especially yesterday with Dawson Hall taking the mound, really keeping this Patriot offense silent. But we knew coming into this series they were going to have some tough arms. And whenever I talked to Coach Raritan the other day, he told me he contributes their success on the mound to their head pitching coach, Dylan Napoleon, saying he called him only 10 minutes after taking the job at WKU to convince him to join him. And ever since then, Napoleon's group has been towards the top of Conference USA in almost every category, right? And saying they've taken kids who maybe other schools didn't consider 5-star recruit and really made them their own treasure.
Well, DBU tries to take one from Western Kentucky this afternoon on a chilly day at the ballpark. First pitch between the Patriots and Hilltoppers is next when we return. 8 degrees in Dallas on this Sunday. The wind blowing in from center field as we look at the Hilltoppers lineup and setting the table. Carlos Vasquez, who's been in that leadoff spot for all but 2 games this year, a dynamic table setter. Then Lazama moves up, hits second today. Ryan Weidman's entrenched in that number 3 spot. You see the 7th highest average in college baseball. Marsala moves to left field today. He's in the cleanup role. Then Camden Ross has had a huge weekend. He's the DH, as has Kyle Hayes, maybe the hottest hitter right now in this Hilltoppers lineup at first base. Drew Berrigan at shortstop. Then Westbrook gets the nod at catcher. Henry Brown is over at third. And a different look today on the mound that the Hilltoppers are going to see. Yesterday you saw the flamethrower and James Owinger. Today it's Ryan Borberg with that splitter.
Yeah, the junior out of Kansas is making another appearance here for the Patriots. 1-4 on the season, as this is his 8th appearance, 7th start of the year. 30 strikeouts and 28 innings on the mound, only 8 walks. Does have the 5.46 ERA. Saw him in a couple of appearances last week. He's got the fastball, slider, sweeper, and then, as Reagan mentions, that splitter that can be his best pitch. So it's Borberg who is tasked with helping the Patriots try and salvage a game here in Dallas.
Wind out of the northwest today, 12 miles per hour. It's blowing towards right field, going to in from center. So it's going to make the ballpark really play big. Typically around this time of year as the temperatures start to warm up, the wind blows primarily out of the south and blowing towards left field. But not this weekend. It's been chilly. The wind has been blowing in, and their first pitch is just off the corner for a ball. Juan Garza behind home plate today. Connor Hoagland at first. Justin Duplessis down the line at third. You see that wind blowing towards right. Hilltoppers team hitting .330 as a club. It's the 8th highest batting average in the nation. That one's down and in, 2-0.
They have showed that. They're such a pesky group. Never a comfortable moment on the mound if you're a Patriot pitcher.
Vasquez has walked 15 times, opposite of 14 strikeouts. A team that doesn't punch out a lot. That one's fouled away. Vasquez, who started his career in the junior college ranks in the state of Alabama at Wallace Dothan Community College. Borberg also came to DBU from the JUCO ranks. He's originally out of Lake Quivira, Kansas. He came to DBU from Johnson County Community College. Here's his 2-1. It's up, and it's at 3 balls and a strike. For Borberg, last Sunday, he gave up 4 runs in the first. After that, he settled in. Did not allow another run over the next 4 2/3 innings. He's going to need that kind of performance today of what we saw from the second inning on. Here, a bouncer up the middle. It's going to be a tough play, and they're not going to have one. It is a soft single up the middle. Vasquez gets the job done. They got a man on for Ethan Lazama.
Well, a little bit of a different look here behind Ryan Borberg on the defensive side of things for the Patriots. Ben Tryon back in the starting lineup. He's in left. Nathan Humphreys in center. Tom Poole, who had been your DH, but also before that your everyday left fielder, he's in right. Got Michael DeTalo and got Graybeck on the left side of the diamond, along with Keaton Grady, Chayton Krause, and then Adam Bergholt behind the plate doing the catching for Ryan Borberg.
Take a look at Tryon making his second start out there in left. Young sophomore from Southlake. It's Ethan Lozama. We've got two international players at the top of this order today. Vasquez, who grew up in Brazil out of Sao Paulo, and Lozama, who Alexis had a great story on him yesterday. Originally from Guam, who came to the U.S., had to convince his parents to allow him to make that move. He's more than 7,000 miles from home, and he's in Bowling Green, Kentucky now. Grew up playing Little League and represented Guam and China and the Philippines in some international events, but really wanted to prove himself here in the States. And here he blasts one to center field. Boy, that is into the teeth of that wind. And that is a shot to the 390 mark. Shows you his power. It is a loud out to deep center field, and there's one gone.
I think it also shows you how this ballpark's going to play. As first we take a look at the history between these two clubs. It had been 6-3 Patriots coming into this weekend, but back-to-back wins for Western Kentucky. They've already won the series, so they've taken 2 out of the 3 series that these two teams have played as conference foes. But that ball was hit 107 miles an hour off the bat at Ethan Lozama, and it didn't make it to the track, and that should tell you how this ballpark could play today.
Ryan Weidman on the first pitch. This is not going to be easy. Weidman's got great speed, but Borberg makes an athletic play. That is a huge out when you can get Weidman, and there's 2 gone. Vasquez moves up to second. But the last 2 batters have been retired on 2 pitches.
Yeah, that's a great play by Borberg. And you see how he's got to hustle, and not just a tough play, period, but the speed that Weidman has put some extra pressure on you. You had no room for error, no bobble, nothing. And Borberg makes that play. And for a guy that has a couple of errors this season on the mound, that's a really nifty play to try and put up a 0 here in the first.
It's Thomas Marsala takes on the corner. Marsala has been in the DH role the first 2 games, and that's really where he's been the majority of the year. Guy that puts a ton of work in the outfield and at first base, and today he gets the nod in left. Pitch is just outside. Originally out of Monroe, Louisiana, started his college career at Baton Rouge Community College, close to home, and then was at Hines Community College, really solid JUCO program in Mississippi, where he was a second-team All-American last year. Hit almost 400. The 1-1's foul back. He's got the 8th highest average in the conference. Well, he kind of gets lost in this lineup. When you look at numbers like Weidman at 457, Lozama with the power that he brings, Vasquez at the top, with Marsala, say he's almost hitting a quiet 363. If it's kind of unheard of. I mean, he's a talented individual. And here he pokes it into right, coming on. Poole's got it. He was able to play in shallow right field with that wind blowing in. He makes the grab, and Borberg gets around to lead off single as he retires the next 3. We're going to the bottom of the first. Hilltoppers nothing. DBU coming up. Tom Poole recorded that final out, and he'll set the table for this Patriots lineup in that leadoff spot today. First day this season that Tom has been in the leadoff spot. He's on base at a 500 mark, so he'll try to get the Pats going here. Grant Jay will hit second. Grant gets a day off behind home plate. He's the DH. Nate Humphreys will bat third, then Krause in the cleanup spot. Keaton Grady slides up to hit fifth. DeTalo, who had been your leadoff hitter, all the way down to number 6 today at third base. Tryon's the new addition, as well as Bergholt catching. Cody Graybeck in the lineup at shortstop today, making his 10th start of the year at short. And this is an arm here that Mark Reardon says he might have the best stuff in terms of the rotation in the sophomore Drew Whalen.
Yeah, and his numbers back that up as well. He's out of Franklin, Tennessee, a sophomore, 6'1", 206 pounds. Perfect 6-0 record on the season, a sub-2 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 9 walks in 37 innings on the mound. Third lowest ERA in the conference, and he has got a 5-pitch mix, and he'll use pretty much every pitch. In fact, he favors the slider a little bit more than that fastball. The fastball can get into the low to mid-90s. Also, that sinker, slider, curveball, split finger. Maybe you could call that also instead of that changeup, but that's what he loves to throw. And so it's Whalen on the mound, a chance to sweep away the Patriots. And here's the defense behind him, as it's Marsala in left, Ryan Weidman, Ethan Lizama, the rest of the outfield. Henry Brown, Drew Berrigan gets the start at shortstop. Carlos Vasquez, Kyle Hayes on the right side of the diamond. Anthony Westbrook gets his first game behind the dish. He's the battery mate for Drew Whalen.
Well, the Patriots were in the same spot last year. They've dropped the first 2 games to Western Kentucky in danger of being swept. Drew Whalen was on the mound that Sunday afternoon. So maybe the stars aligned today. The Patriots trying to get off the schneid, get a win, salvage this series against a Western Kentucky team 27-4. This is a Hilltoppers team that you could see in the top 25 at the end of this week. Next pitch just outside. They almost went it to Vanderbilt on Tuesday and took one from the Commodores, fell in extra innings. We showed you yesterday just the record-setting pace that they're on, best record ever for this program through 31 games. 2-0, Poole takes high, 3-0. Tom has walked a team-high 25 times. It's the second highest batting average on the team. In fact, you've got the 2 highest in the 1 and 2 spots today with him and Jay. The 3-0 is low, and Poole walks, so DBU's got the leadoff man on for Grant Jay. Take a look at the last time this Patriots team was shut out. Think about yesterday, the 11-0 loss. It has been a long time. April 17th, 2021, last time shut out at home here at Horner Ballpark. How about the note at the bottom? Paul Skeens that day hit leadoff. He was the DH, and he got the save that day. He was only a freshman All-American. Now one of the best pitchers in the big leagues, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It was at that point where, I think we've talked about this before, we were thinking, man, he's going to be the next great catcher at the big league level. And he had one more year at Air Force before transferring to LSU and becoming the sensation that he is now.
0-1, swing and a miss. Jay down 0-2. That 2021 season, you were shut out at home that day. You lost the series the next day, but really that's when the year turned around for this club. They played Indiana State the next week, a top 20 team, and won that series. They went on to win the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference. They won the conference tournament. You get to a super regional that year. You take a look at that 2021 banner. That shutout and that series loss gets lost kind of in the mix because it all turned around from there.
And remember, too, that was a series where your roster was extremely limited because you're still in the midst of COVID protocols. So I think at one point,
Jay to right. Lizama. It's over his head. That's going to get Poole, who had to hold up for just a moment to see if that was going to be caught. Jay gets into second with a double. Well, you got something cooking here. Second and third and nobody out.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying. On a line to right field. Hit really well by Grant Jay, and you can see how this one surprises Lizama a little bit. Almost thought he had a play on it, and then just sneaks over him. So, great start for the Pats, looking to play from in front for the first time since about the third inning on Friday.
And scored since the third. Whalen has not given up a run since March 14th. It's 15 2/3 consecutive innings since he gave up his last run. Pats have got the first run on the board just 90 feet away as this pitch is outside for a ball to Humphreys. You bring up a great point about that 21 club. The roster thin at that time of the year. With COVID, with injuries, this team right here, the roster is thin. You're without some big bats in your lineup right now. Jake Bennett came off the bench yesterday as a pinch hitter and just couldn't run. They were asking him maybe hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he's dealing with a hamstring. Joey Narrett is out right now. You got Luke Pettit on the mound that's hurt.
And you just got Tom Poole back after he missed most of the series against New Mexico State. So, yeah, you can see some of the similarities.
And maybe it helps keep it in perspective right now. This is still, a Patriots team 19-11. You're number 17. Will you be ranked after this week? Maybe a lot has to do with today, but yesterday's loss was frustrating. It's been a frustrating weekend, but keep in mind this Patriots team is not healthy right now. Should get a run in, and it will. Poole scores. Humphreys retired. And DBU scores for the first time since the first inning on Friday. They've got the early lead today.
Yeah, and so maybe a little bit of a ho-hum way just to bring home the first run, but it's so important because the Patriots, they've had limited opportunities, honestly, to score against this offense since the 3 runs they put up in the first on Friday. They've had some situations where if they would just be able to move the runner over, have some productive outs, they could have put up a few more runs. So don't discount the fact that you already are able to get something on the board.
It's Chayton Krause, big swing and a miss. Now, Chayton, last year against Whalen, had a home run off of the right-hander. Whalen went 4 innings that day, gave up 3 runs. Don't know that you're going to get one out of the ballpark today, but you want to get that run in from third. So something to the air right here in the outfield would produce that second run. And will this be deep enough? And will it stay fair? Lizama over, and he's got it. That is plenty deep. Test the arm of Lizama, who has got a cannon from right field. Jay crosses home the sac fly. Pats score their second run of the first.
That's always a tough decision, too, for an outfielder deciding whether or not do I let that drop or do I make the play. And Lizama went to make the catch, knowing that once he made that play, there wasn't going to be a chance even with his incredible arm. But Patriots will take it. That is situational baseball. A ground ball moves the runner home, and then the sac fly brings the second run home.
It's Keaton Grady now, outside. There seems to be a lot of life in that DBU dugout today. Don't know what the words were from Dan Hefner yesterday in the team huddle, but you would think that this team was challenged. Grady to center, Weidman there, and that will retire the side. But good start for DBU. 2 runs in the first. The double from Jay was the big hit. Some situational hitting, advancing runners, and Ryan Borberg will be staked to a 2-0 lead when we come back. Ryan Borberg back on the mound, 2-0 lead for DBU as we go to the top of the second. Borberg just needed 12 pitches there in the first inning. After giving up the leadoff single to Carlos Vasquez, he retired the next 3, Lizama, Weidman, Marsala. He's going to see Ross, Hayes, and Berrigan coming up in the second inning. He settled in last weekend against New Mexico State. He was incredibly sharp. That splitter is on. We've seen it against Oklahoma, 5 shutout innings, an 11-0 win over the Sooners. Early this season, it is a tough pitch to hit if he can locate it.
And this is a Western Kentucky offense. You talked about getting the leadoff man on in Vasquez. That is something they have done with regularity all season long. In fact, yesterday, 5 of the 7 innings, they scored in 5 of the 7. In each one of those innings, they got the leadoff man on. So it is just consistent pressure.
Ross to third. Talo's got it, and there's 1 down. Well, that 11-0 shutout yesterday, so much of the story was what Dawson Hall did on the mound for Western Kentucky. 6 shutout innings. He's a guy that's grown up around the program his whole life. And for more on Dawson's story, we send it down to Alexis.
To see the improvement each year. And after yesterday's game, Coach Reardon said there's no other way to describe his performance other than tremendous, which is pretty accurate because that was Hall's best outing of the season so far. Before that, he was only going 1 or 2 innings, with 3 being his longest, and he stood in there for 6, only allowing 6 hits on the day. He's now in his 3rd season with the Tops, back from an injury that cut last year a little short, but he still finished the year with the best ERA the program's seen since 1981 with a 1.69. Hall said he chose WKU because he's a 3rd-generation Top. Both his parents attended and even stuck around. His mom works for the School of Nursing, and his dad is in his 15th year as the director of strength and conditioning, who Dawson says has the biggest influence on his athletic career because he's always going to push him to get better at whatever he's doing.
Yeah, thanks, Alexis. But what a story. And a guy grown up around the program, and, well, you hate to be on the other end of that yesterday, the 11-0 loss. If you like pitching and not necessarily just the strikeout type stuff, as this is into the air, shallow center. It's a long run for Humphreys. That's going to fall down in between him and Graybeck. Well, I thought Hump had a chance at that. But there was some miscommunication there. Humphreys sure looked like he may have had a beat at that, and now you got 1st and 2nd and 1 out.
I want to see a second look as well. Humphreys had the easier play because coming in from center, yeah, he does. He lets up a little bit. And you don't know what was communicated there, but yeah, that's a ball where you want Humphreys coming in at full speed and making that catch.
Oh, now you got to work to Anthony Westbrook, the number 8 hitter. Low and inside. Looked like he just kind of gave way to Cody right there.
And that's been the way that WKU has started a lot of their rallies. Not necessarily squaring up baseballs, but just like we said, just putting it in play and put pressure on.
Westbrook takes a strike, 1-1. Yeah, but yesterday for Hall, I mean, he was consistently ahead of batters. He was quick, efficient, pitch to contact. Only the 2 strikeouts, but he really baffled this Patriot lineup. It's a good start for DBU, the 2 spot. Could go for a 2-ball right here against Berrigan. Rather, Westbrook, it's foul back. Berrigan's at first, Hayes at second.
It felt yesterday almost like the most effortless shutting down of an offense that we have seen in quite some time. Just, like you said, nothing jumped off the page because he only had the 2 strikeouts, but no hard contact at all.
1-2 to Westbrook. Appeal, they said he went. A strikeout, Justin Duplessis. Rob Forner is not happy down that third base line. You don't have the 4-man crew, you got a 3-man crew. Now, he's not down the third base line. Oh, my. I think Westbrook's got an argument. See if he went here.
He didn't, and you just can't see it from second base. So get a 4th umpire. That eliminates a lot of those issues. So it's tough for Duplessis, who is in a spot behind the mound where he really doesn't have a better look at that play.
Henry Brown now first and second. Fouled away. It would seem like in that position, too, where he is, that it is got to be a pretty aggressive take right there, or check swing, where it would be overwhelming to say, yeah, he went.
Yeah.
It looked like just a short little check swing from Westbrook. Borberg will gladly take it. His first strikeout. Rounded into the hole, sliding play, Grady to first, and they get him. Well, that is a nifty pickup by Keaton at second. And a great job by Chayton to get back to the bag at first. So a couple of hits given up. Borberg skates around it, and we're going to the bottom of the second. Grady, a run-saving play. 2-0. Pats headed to the home half of inning 2. Yesterday in Lynchburg, Virginia, Liberty's Seth Christmas delivered this walk-off blast over the center field wall to lift Liberty to a 5-4 win in 10 innings over Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders had scored 2 in the ninth to send it to extras, but Christmas home run right there, which was just his second of the year, handed the Flames the series, and today they go for the sweep of the Blue Raiders. It's the series finale today up at Lynchburg, Virginia, as they won a couple of close ones in walk-off style this weekend.
Yeah, home run from Sebastian Mexico on Friday, and Christmas with the walk-off home run yesterday. And Liberty's a team that had an outstanding non-conference record, got out to that slow start in conference play, but that's a dangerous team to watch.
It's Michael DiTallo on the corner for a strike. 6, 7, and 8 here for DBU. Well, the Pats find themselves 2 back now in the conference standings behind Western Kentucky. It's an important game. Try to get one here against Western Kentucky. You know they're going to have a really solid RPI. I think when all things are said and done at the end of the season. That may have been that splitter right there from Whalen. 1 and 2. And good chance they're going to win 40-plus games. In the hole at third. Brown to first, and there's one gone. So while you drop the series, if you could take one today somehow, you get back to a game within Western Kentucky, top spot in the league, super important.
And yeah, you mentioned it earlier too. It's still midway through the season, and you've had moments throughout the years where you feel like you were in a better position than you are now, and things maybe didn't go the way you wanted, and you've had to go the other way too. So still a whole lot of baseball. You're going to decide your own fate, and it can all start today.
Been try on down the line and right. Hook's foul.
I wouldn't mind seeing the run started by somebody like Tryon,
Yeah.
who just had a rough go of it. Supremely talented, and sometimes you need that spark.
His lone hit was a base hit on February 22nd against SIU Edwardsville. He's 1 for 16, was the opening day starter and left. A guy that came to DBU as an infielder, a middle infielder and a corner guy. Strike is called, 1 and 2.
He called that a foul ball, yeah.
They say that Benny puts on a show during batting practice, and They're just hoping that at some point is going to translate here. Here he puts it in play with 2 strikes. Oh, that throw is in the dirt, and somehow it was scooped out by Kyle Hayes. That was an awkward play. Typically, you see the underhand throw. Vasquez went overhand and kind of spiked it. Hayes dug it out.
Almost looked like he was throwing a shot put over to first base. That's a great scoop by Hayes. That was almost like, I guess Vasquez felt like he was in between. Couldn't go overhand, couldn't go underhand, but that's a nice scoop.
It's Adam Bergholt. Bergie's last 2 hits have been home runs. They've been pinch hit home runs. He hit one on Sunday at New Mexico State. DB was down 3 runs. He gets a 2-run blast in the 9th, and then the Pats put the tying run at second. He had the grand slam on opening day. He's just got a knack for it.
That home run he hit last week. You know, from just sitting back home and watching, you felt, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
They're going to get this done.
You had Schlegel at second, who can float. Base hit would have tied it. Bergholt down the line and right. It's going to get out. Nate Humphreys almost left the yard on Sunday at New Mexico State. That would have given you the lead. That was the final out recorded in a 4-3 loss. Forberg gave up 4 in the first. He didn't let him score the rest of the way.
Yeah, 4-3. Only 7 runs scored in that game was not something I would have thought.
Bergholt just kind of gives you a spark. He's got so much energy. Teammates love him. And he's been big when he's come off the bench this year. He was in the lineup as the DH on opening day. Had a great summer in the North Woods League after only having 5 at-bats last year. Here, this one up the middle. It's a long run, and it's past Berrigan and a base hit. Well, those are the kind of hits that Western Kentucky has had this week. 2-strike situations. Just put it in play, see what happens, and Bergholt gets to first with a 2-out single.
Yeah, it turns out just to be your run-of-the-mill kind of seeing-eye single, but that's a strong at-bat from Adam Bergholt. And just like you said, and what we talked about last half inning, Western Kentucky always just putting pressure on you, and that's a battle for Bergholt. Slap it out there, and you never know what can happen with 2 outs.
It's Cody Graybeck. Cody's having a career year, .324 average. He's reached safely in 8 straight. He's 2 for 5 this weekend. He's been hit by a pitch twice. He's had a sac bunt. I mean, maybe if there's been a bright spot in this lineup, I would say it's been Cody and Kraus. Patriot crowd didn't like that one. Juan Garza calls it strike 1, 1-1.
Played more of a guy trying to set a spark at the bottom of the order before injuries forced him to maybe change that a little bit, but he's still someone who can give you the surprise bunt single like we saw yesterday, and always has that knack for getting on base.
2-1 from the Midland College transfer, a guy that started his college career at Baylor. Lifts it to right center, Weidman. A routine play, and that ends the inning. So DBU gets the 2-out single from Bergholt, but nothing to show for it. So we've played 2, headed to the 3rd, with the Patriots on top, 2-0.
Well, back in Dallas, Patriots an early 2-0 lead. As we make our way to the 3rd, Western Kentucky taking the first 2 of this series. They sit alone atop Conference USA right now with that 6-2 record. La Tech at 5-2. You see the Patriots now in a logjam there in the middle of the pack, one of 5 teams that are at 4-4. Trying to stay above 500 in conference play before a 5-game road trip begins on Tuesday.
And just stay in the hunt right now. It's early 3rd weekend. You got a big series coming. I think Jacksonville State, this coming weekend, one of the most improved teams in the league. Maybe the most. I would put them in New Mexico State right there at the top of that list. It'll be a challenging week coming up. But first things first, try to take care of business today.
On the road at Oklahoma Tuesday, and then that series against Jacksonville State. It all ends then with a game on the road in Fort Worth against TCU. That's the 5-game trip. As Borberg begins that 2nd time through the order, it's Carlos Vasquez, the Brazilian who's at the plate. Infield single his first time, and he'll pop this one up on the right side of the diamond. Keeter's got it, one away. Well, Ethan Lizama now at the plate. Now, back-to-back losses at home, too, something that doesn't happen very often. Patriots now 13-5 at the friendly confines. Western Kentucky, they're 21-0 at home. You've only lost 4 games, period, but 21-0 there in Bowling Green. Park plays big, if I'm not mistaken, too.
It does. It really does. And I think that plays into the fact that you see the high average. They're kind of middle of the pack in terms of home runs. There's pop on this lineup, but that is a bigger ballpark there.
All your offense in Game 3 last year was a home run from Chayton Krause. It's 2-0 Pats here. Swing and a miss by Ethan Lizama.
Well, that pitch right there is so key to Borberg's success. If he can run a fastball, it's 90. It's got a little ride to it. See how it is up in the zone? But when you offset that with the splitter, they just tunnel so well.
2-strike offering is fouled away. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the 98 we saw yesterday from somebody like James Ellwanger. Can be effective just pitching off the fastball. It's Lizama who extended his hit streak to 10 games yesterday. And has now seen the count run full here at 3-2. He flew out to center field his first time up. Overshift on against him, 3 on the right side of the diamond, and there's ball 4. So the first walk issued by Borberg, and you put a man on in front of a dangerous hitter in Ryan Weidman.
This is a pretty free-swinging team, and they're next to last in the conference in walks. And so you just keep it in the zone. You've seen how that has really troubled this DBU pitching staff through the first 2 games.
Bunt shown here by Weidman. You're going to force Borberg to make another play, and he is not going to get it to first in time. Now, this one may be reviewed, but Weidman putting pressure on you, getting to first base. Dan Hefner's coming out of the dugout, perhaps to challenge this. Boy, and actually, that may be runner's interference. You see how far inside the line Weidman was?
He is, and look where you've got the green bag now, which really helps you with that to see, and that's what Dan Hefner's argument is here. Borberg kind of juggled it just for a split second, and that, I think, caused the throw to be just a hair late. But look where Borberg, as he runs to the bag, would kind of tell you, I think he's inside the line there. That'd be a big call if you can get it overturned right here.
Yeah,
I think he fields it cleanly. I think he gets him. Well, look where he is inside that runner's lane.
If I'm looking at everything right here, I don't know if you can review runner interference. I think it would have to be something that the umpires change on the field.
Well, that's a tough one because I don't think Juan Garza said that that's how he saw it. That's an unfortunate break. You feel like Ryan Weidman should be out right there. That's a great shot by our crew. I mean, he's well inside that runner's lane. And first base umpire, Connor Hoagland, who's your crew chief, he didn't see it that way either.
It just feels like you run there with the intention to alter the throw to first base. But either way, the Patriots can't do anything about it. First and second, 1 away, and Borberg's going to have to buckle down. He's got Thomas Marsala, who is 0 for 1 at the plate. So a tough break, but Borberg can get himself out of it. It was the walk to Lizama and the bunt single by Weidman. And he's now up 0-2 against Thomas Marsala.
Marsala's struck out twice in this series. Once was on a curveball. The other was on a fastball that was kind of up and away. What does Borberg think here? He can waste one at 0-2. Maybe go with that fastball, run it up and away from the lefty.
He's 2 for 8 on the series. Swing and a miss. Went straight heater there. And Borberg picks up his second strikeout. That's a big out, number 2.
Well, it's 90. Again, it doesn't blow you away, but look at the fastball. I mean, that is through the heart of the plate. He's got a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer on the fastball to go with the splitter.
And an 0-2 there. Marsala is, protecting, but probably is expecting that split finger with 2 strikes. Just missing up and in for ball 1 to Camden Ross, who has had a great series. 6 RBIs total. He had the big 3-run home run back on Friday night. That really was the difference in the game. It put him up 4-3 in the 3rd, and then nothing else across for either side the rest of the way.
Now, Ross and then Hayes in the on-deck circle have been 2 of the hottest hitters this weekend.
And as we've highlighted, Ross came in scuffling. And he has busted out in a big way. Got a chance here. Potentially tie the game or take the lead for Western Kentucky. Ross now ahead at 3 balls and no strikes. The aforementioned Hayes in the on-deck circle.
Well, that is a massive lead at second by Lizama. They're not necessarily concerned maybe about that run. Grady edges in a few steps now.
Now they're going to throw to second and nearly had him. Boy, you saw it. So did the Patriots. Bang, bang play at second, and Lizama just got that right hand in.
Boy, Grady's in a good spot, too. He was a little deeper the previous pitch. Here he snuck in just a step or 2. Nearly got there.
Oh, 3-0 just misses. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Well, there's a close pitch there at 3-0, and he does not get the call from Juan Garza.
Boy, you look at this inning. 3-2 pitch to Lizama. He walks. You get the bunt single, which you feel like maybe Weidman's inside the runner's lane, runner's interference, but it's not called. Then you get a walk to Ross, and it loads it up for Hayes.
Kyle Hayes. 2 hits Friday, 2 hits Saturday. Bergholt keeps it close at 1-0. Hayes had the RBI double and an infield single yesterday, also on by way of a walk. Senior out of Chicago. 1-1. Hayes' first time up, singled up the middle. He's got the bases loaded here. 368 average overall. Trying to get on to get a run on the board. Good pitch there from Borberg on the outside corner. Hayes didn't like it. It's 1-2. A pitch away is Ryan Borberg. He went fastball his last time for the strikeout. 1-2 pitch. Fastball again, and he struck him out. Ryan Borberg with some toughness to end the top of the 3rd inning. He strands 3. Bases left loaded for Western Kentucky as Borberg punches out 2 in the 3rd. 2-0 Pats. We go to the bottom half. Patriots lead at 2-0. Here's how we got there, and it's fundamental baseball. Couple of runners on base, less than 2 outs. Ground out from Nathan Humphries. Chayton Krause follows with a sacrifice fly. And boy, the way that this ballpark's playing today, you got to take advantage of your offensive opportunities, and the Patriots have done that.
It all started with that leadoff walk to Poole. Yeah, Jay advanced him on the double. Those are the 2 right there that you're really leaning on to propel this offense. When Tom Poole's healthy, he is as good a hitter as there is in the country. He's been dealing with some hamstring issues. Today he gets that leadoff walk, and that just kind of kick-started the offense right there in the 1st.
Starts the second trek through the order for Drew Whalen, the sophomore out of Franklin, Tennessee. Coming off a season-high 10 strikeouts against Sam Houston last week. Begins the 3rd off speed on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. So Poole, Jay, and Humphries, top 3 in the order for the Pats. against Whalen, who just threw his 34th pitch of the afternoon. 1-1. It is that 5-pitch mix for Whalen. He has not given up a run in back-to-back starts. That all ended in the first inning today against the Patriots. Tom takes. Close pitch. Just maybe down and in, 2-1. It was 6 2/3 shutout against Sam Houston, 5 2/3 the week before against Kennesaw State. Last minute, Western Kentucky applies the overshift and another pitch that just misses low. It's 3-1.
Hey, Tom Poole can handle the bat. He is one of the better punters on this team. Doesn't show it a lot. That left side's vacated.
Tom fouls it off to the left, and then you look out at Thomas Marsala in left. He is playing extremely shallow. He's almost a fifth infielder.
That just tells you the wind and how the park's playing. That is so rare to see against Poole.
Yeah, Tom's got opposite field power. He just stays alive here, spoils a good breaking ball from Whalen.
Tells you, too, really where they're trying to pitch him. The overshift, that wind coming in. They're not concerned about left field. They feel like they can play him shallow. Not worried about him laying one down, but they feel like he'll hit that on the ground into the teeth of that shift.
You'll see another 3-2 pitch. And he sees ball 4. Ball kicks away to the backstop, and Tom will take his second walk. And that'll bring up Grant Jay. It was a tight spot. Patriots up 2-0. They had the bases loaded. Western Kentucky did, and Borberg, that pitch right there, helped him escape and keep it 2-0.
And look at what your catcher in Bergholt does there, too. That's a great two-strike pitch. Berge does a terrific job of framing that at the knees. Maybe brings it up just a touch to get that strike 3 call.
Both walks from Whalen to Tom Poole, who stands at first. Grant Jay's been hit by the pitch. 8th time that's happened. The dugout that did not get plunked with the 90-mile-an-hour fastball is going crazy. Grant's on his way to first, and a great start to this inning for DBU.
Yeah, Grant right up there on the shoulder. Can't feel great on a 44-degree day at the ballpark. Tough kid. First and second, he got something brewing right here. This is a prime spot for Humphreys. Put one down. Kind of get 2 in a scoring position.
So Humphreys up at third base. Brown is expecting a potential bunt. Humphreys shows it and takes low for ball 1. One sack for Humphreys this season. Time called as out from the dugout comes Dylan Napoleon to have a quick chat with Drew Whalen, who's gotten himself into some trouble here, his own doing in the 3rd inning. He has not had an outing this year where he has allowed more than 2 earned runs. Been a strikeout guy throughout the season, does not have a punch out today. And Dylan Napoleon trying to figure out how they're going to keep this 2-0. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot. I mean, you got the heart of the order here. Hump is just trying to give himself up. So I think a lot of the part of this conversation, too, with Napoleon is just how they're defending this, what they're looking to do in a bunt-type situation. If you can push 2 into scoring position, you love the fact of having Chayton Krause coming up as well. And maybe that's part of the conversation too. Hey, if they get 2nd and 3rd, Krause coming up, how do they want to work him? With first base open. Take a look at Tom Poole. Be an important 3rd run if you could get it across.
Looked like he went with that splitter on the first pitch. And Nathan Humphreys, we'll see if he's still trying to lay down a bunt. He is. He takes again, 2-0. Whalen again went with the slider, it looked like that time, went off speed again. Anthony Westbrook behind the plate. It had been Camden Ross, your catcher. He's the DH today. 2-0. There's a strike on the inside corner. And if Hump gets it down, it's not necessarily just a sacrifice. He's got great speed and chance to beat it out. especially if he drags it down the first base line. 2-2. That'll change things most likely. Only 6 sack bunts for the Patriots this season. Generally not a huge part of their game. I think that the weather probably has something to do with that today. It feels like an early February type of ball game, or a late February game, I guess. 2-2 to Humphreys, trying to get the runners over. And he has run the count full at 3-2. So Poole at second, Jay at first. The double steal always a possibility. Chayton Krause in the on-deck circle. DBU on the verge of a potential big inning. And Hump will force another one. They're making Whalen earn it here in the third inning. There's a 7-pitch walk to Tom Poole. This is the 7th pitch to Nathan Humphreys. Grant Jay was hit on the first pitch he saw. Payoff again. Hit in the air pretty hard, but right at the center fielder, Weidman. He's got it. And that is the first out of the inning. Nathan Humphreys strong at bat. Nothing to show for it as Whalen gets out number 1. So Chayton Krause now coming to the plate. Whalen at least 7 strikeouts, 5 starts this year. At least 8 strikeouts in 4 of them. Has not found the strikeout stuff yet, as Chayton Krause had a sac fly his first time up. His conference leading 42nd RBI. Able to lay off the hanging breaker for ball 1.
Always in the back of your mind is that double steal with DBU. I think the biggest question is how healthy is Poole? That hamstring. Typically, he's one of your best base stealers.
Rather cautious lead at second base right now.
I think, too, as well, that might be out of play because you don't want to take the bat out of Chayton Krause's hand. You put those two on the move and first base opens, it changes how Whalen pitches to Krause.
Keaton Grady in the on-deck circle. Michael Detallo behind him. 1-1 to Krause. Just misses. Boy, borderline has been going the way of the hitter today.
That strike to the knees at times has been called, at others it hadn't. I think Whalen's pretty frustrated with that one.
Sophomore looking out at Krause, the senior. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him. Whalen's ERA with the 2 runs he's given up today at 2.27. He had a ERA last year of 5.25. He's brought it down 3 full runs. 2-2. Krause, little tapper to third. Brown's going to have to make a play on the run, and he does. And so there's 2 down. And this promising inning now hanging by a thread. Keaton Grady coming up. Whalen's got a chance. He's got Humphreys to fly out. He got Chayton Krause there on the ground out. He's been an escape. He's trying to be an escape artist, something that Western Kentucky's done well. First 2 games. Stranded 10 Patriots on Friday. And that 4-3 win. Here's Keeter. Flew out to center his first time. Base hit. Could double your lead as there's strike 1. '17th start of the year for Grady. And a swing and a miss. That's Splitter at 84, and Whalen a strike away from pitching around the leadoff walk, followed by a hit by pitch. It's Poole at third, Jay at second. Oh, 0-2. Good block behind the plate by Westbrook. Dawson Hall didn't really have to escape much yesterday, but Jack Bennett, Lucas Hartman, Cal Higgins, they were able to wiggle out of trouble all night on Friday, ever since that 3-run first inning. 1-2 to Grady. Another pitch inside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're working Whalen here in this inning, even if they don't push any runs across. This will be the 25th pitch of the third. Ball 4, so Grady claws his way all the way back. It's down 0-2, now full at 3-2 with Dottie in the on-deck circle. Seeing the secondary stuff well. Three-two pitch. One more time.
They got that one off the front foot a little bit. Again, Whalen trusting that off-speed stuff. 3-2 is an 85 mile per hour. Maybe the slider that he goes with towards that, trying to bury that back foot slider on the corner, get a swing and miss.
He's almost 50% slider guy for the season average. Tried again at 3-2 against Grady. And a ground ball to first, he should get out of it. Kyle Hayes to the bag, and Whalen is able to wobble but stand his ground. Patriots strand 2 in scoring position. We've played 3. DBU on top, 2-0. Series going on in Corvallis as Oregon State and UC Irvine, 2 teams in the top 15 in the country, playing game 2 of the series yesterday. Jacob Craig, a home run in the 7th. AJ Singer in the 8th. A couple of solo home runs. Number 11 Beavers even up that series. Anteaters took game 1, 12-10. So they will play a rubber match today as Oregon State, the 2 home runs late yesterday, and well, they're having themselves a great year in what's just kind of been weird. See, I guess technically you still consider them a Pac-12 team, but really just an independent making their way through the season.
Yeah, it's an odd schedule coming. They get a lot of, it's West Coast heavy. They're at Fullerton next week, at Cal State Northridge the following. Then they play some of the Big Ten teams, Oregon and Iowa, and it's just a hodgepodge of teams on their schedule.
Still having a great year as Drew Berrigan gets plunked first pitch that he sees. So an unfortunate start to the 4th inning. 5 times out of the 7 innings yesterday, the Hilltoppers got the leadoff man on. They're 2 for 4 doing that this afternoon.
It's the 3rd batter this year that Borberg has hit. But as a staff, 45 hit batters on the season now in their 31st game.
Anthony Westbrook is at the plate. He's going to try and give himself up. Upstairs for ball 1. Number 8 hitter in Westbrook, Henry Brown on deck behind him. Bottom of the order you got to take care of. Then you got the scary bats coming at the top. Just off the plate outside, and Westbrook is ahead at 2-0. Westbrook's been all over the place his college career. At East Georgia State, then to the College of Central Florida, Florida Southwest State, all at the JUCO level. It's his 2nd season at Western Kentucky. Was a redshirt last year. Out of Bradenton, Florida. Dips his hand early. Borberg fires a strike. This was the game for Western Kentucky last year. The small ball, and kind of feel like 2 different lineups today. The bottom of the order, playing maybe a little bit of small ball. Top of the order can swing it. As the runner goes, the ball's tapped back to the mound. It's going to work like a sacrifice. As Western Kentucky picks the right time to send Berrigan to second base. So goes down as a fielder's choice. Man at second with 1 away, and Henry Brown is coming up.
A smart play by Ryan. I mean, his initial reaction is to go to second. He didn't realize that Berrigan was breaking. Had he not been breaking, I think Ryan's got a chance right there at second base to make that throw. But doesn't force the issue, makes a smart play.
Here's the Indiana State transfer, Henry Brown. Takes ball one in tight. Brown was the late addition into the lineup on Friday, went 0 for 3 in game one. 1 for 4, the run scored yesterday, and here he turns on one, well foul. Potential home run distance, but way out in front of the breaking ball. Brown grounded out to second base on a great play by Keaton Grady, moving to his left, had to slide, and one motion through to get him at first base and in the inning. There's a back pick to second, not as close as what we saw at the end of the third inning. 2-0 Patriots. They're being out hit 4-2. Both Patriots runs coming in the first inning. There's strike two on a fastball. 89 miles an hour, and the count's at 1-2. Top of the order, and Vasquez waiting here against Brown. 2 years in Terre Haute with Indiana State. Here comes the 1-2, and it hit him. He lost him on a 1-2 heater. And the number 9 hitter is on. Top of the order is coming up, and danger time right now as Borberg's put himself in a hole.
Well, he had hit 2 batters all year through 31 innings coming into this 4th inning. He's hit 2 here in the 4th. Well, that really changes the complexion. If you can get Brown, now you're seeing Vasquez with 2 outs instead. Heavy hitters coming up, still only 1 out as Brown at that line at first base is trying to shake this off. That's why they're calling time.
So you do have to deal with the top of the order with 2 runners on base. You got Carlos Vasquez, 1 for 2 today. He's got multi-hits in 4 out of his last 5. Big moment here in the 4th as Vasquez fouls the first one off. It's been 2 vocal dugouts today, and right now it's the Hilltoppers who are in control of that department and trying to will their team to get on the board here in the 4th. Borberg delivers, and another foul ball. So no balls and 2 strikes. Patriots slowly sending some arms down the left field line to the bullpen. Borberg, 54 pitches. He's been solid. 2 hit batters have been the problem in this inning. 2 strikes here to Vasquez. And a ground ball, going to be a tough play. Throw to first will be late, and another infield single for Carlos Vasquez. He's jammed, but he loads the bases with 1 away for Lizama.
On a play like that in the hole, you think maybe your best chance is the force out at third. Watch where Dottie ends up on this. He's going forward as well, so he's off the bag. He tries to get back. By then, it's just too late. I mean, you can't fault him for that. He's trying to make a play on the ball, but if he's not and he's there at third, I think they've got that runner.
Yeah, your instincts to go after it, but yeah, I think you're right. That would have been the only play. So here's Lizama as it has gotten tough. No ball has left the infield in this inning. But the bases are juiced with only 1 away, and Lizama has got a 10-game hit streak. 0 for 1 today. He's now reached in 19 straight. Trying to turn this game around, and he swings and fouls 1 back.
Well, if there was a strikeout in this lineup, it's here in Lizama. I mean, he struck out 27 times. That's a team high. But they're just so tough to punch out, even Lizama. But well, you need one right here.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Climb the ladder with the fastball.
I mean, ideally, you want a double play ball and you get out of it. But Lizama runs really well. He's only grounded into 1 double play.
Berrigan at third. Henry Brown at second. Carlos Vasquez at first. 1-2 to Lizama. Ground ball. It is foul down the first base line. The Western Kentucky dugout disagrees. That is an extremely close play at first.
Yeah, I think it's just foul.
It might have hit the green bag.
Yeah. Which sure helps Connor Hoagland.
Yeah, quick chat. That is ruled a foul ball, so 1 and 2. Kind of would have been a fitting way for Western Kentucky to get the first run on another infield single. Punch out in order for Borberg. Here it comes, and a pop-up. Shallow right center field. Humphreys and Poole are there. It is Poole who makes the catch, and it's not going to be deep enough to score the run. Strong throw from Poole in right. Well, we asked for the strikeout, maybe the ground ball. Shallow fly to right, also in order. 2 down.
That's your third option, and you'll gladly take it. Shallow enough where Poole's got that strong arm. Not going to test that, especially with a guy like Weidman coming out. They don't want to make that third out at home. It's a good throw by Tom. Still work to do right here against one of the elite hitters in the country.
Ryan Weidman. Top 10 in the nation in average. He's 1 for 2 with a bunt single today. Taking low for ball 1. Hit a tapper back to the mound his first time up. Ryan Borberg made an athletic play. Then he extended his hit streak with a bunt single. It's now at 7 games. Grounder to third, played by Detallo, racing to the bag. He'll beat him there. Michael Detallo, a pitcher's best friend, as he helps Borberg escape, and he keeps it a 2-0 ball game. Bases left loaded for the second straight inning as Michael Detallo just able to beat the runner to the bag. Going to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 DBU. Patriots as we make our way to the bottom of the 4th. Boy, Ryan Borberg, an escape artist the last 2 ball games. Before we talk about Ryan, let's look at the Nationals scoreboard. Take a glance across college baseball. Big one coming up in the Big 12. Kansas State and Oklahoma State. Vandy, Florida. Wake Forest, Florida State. That Georgia-Texas series. That has been a good series for the Longhorns.
That has. Taking the first 2 down in Austin. And how about that? Florida is another story, too. They are 1-10 in the SEC. Don't count out Kevin O'Sullivan's team. I mean, last year they had that, it seemed like almost the same type of start in SEC play. Then they somehow sneak into the tournament, then they make it all the way to the College World Series. Made a good run in Omaha, but it's a great play in the SEC, and they get another one in the Big 12 today later on this afternoon against Oklahoma State, trying to take a series. Pitching change here for the Hilltoppers is that's it for Drew Whalen. Now, they've got a lot of arms they could go to today, so it's a luxury for Western Kentucky. Whalen, 3 innings, 2 runs, 2 walks. He did not strike out about 60 pitches. 27 of those came in the 3rd as he hands the ball to Taylor Penn.
Well, Penn in his freshman season stands 6'5", 200 pounds out of Versailles, Kentucky. As Penn on the mound for the 6th time this season. This is just his 4th out of the bullpen. He's 2-0, 3.09 ERA, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and 11 2/3 innings on the mound. As Penn's first pitch to Michael Detallo misses outside for ball 1. So after back-to-back scoreless outings for Whalen, he only goes 3, gives up 2, turns it over to the bullpen that has been outstanding this weekend and really all season long for Western Kentucky. 2-0 to Michael Detallo. And the bullpen yesterday only needed 1 inning from Zach Lyles in mop-up time, but Lucas Hartman, Cal Higgins, they were difference makers on Friday. 3-0 now to Detallo. Dottie, a ground out to third base his first time up. He made a huge play to end at the top of the 4th inning at third base. Just beating out the runner to first. I don't think he had any other play. Throw across the diamond probably wouldn't have got there in time, so he just gets to first. And Ryan Borberg has somehow stranded 9 runners through the first 4 innings. Ground ball to first, but played perfectly there is Kyle Hayes. He's got it. Ball hit sharply by Detallo, but Hayes is there, and there's 1 away. Well, Ben Tryon coming up against Taylor Penn, whose last appearance was against Vanderbilt on Tuesday, and he came on in the second, pitched all the way through the sixth, and he was very effective against the Commodores. 3 1/3, no hits, just 1 walk through 38 pitches. He's gone back-to-back scoreless for the first time in his young career. Ball 1 to Ben Tryon. Thomas Marsala, who had been more of a DH, got the start in left, but he has been yanked from the ball game. It's Ciervo, who is now in left field. Hard ground ball to second. Vasquez has got it. 2 down. As there is a look at the new left fielder, Ciervo. Been in the starting lineup. He will play the majority of the game, it appears, here today. So 2 down, and here's Adam Bergholt, who singled his first time up. Hitting the start behind the dish, giving Grant Jay a half day off. And Berge swings at the first pitch. 2 hops, and deep in the hole at third is Brown. He fires a strike, and the inning is over. So a quick inning for Taylor Penn out of the bullpen as he goes 1, 2, 3. We've played 4 at Horner Ballpark. Patriots on top, 2-0.
Back in Dallas, top of the
Conference
fifth, where
USA
DBU's got a 2-0 lead. Adam Bergholt back behind home plate for the Patriots. His battery mate today, Ryan Borberg, 4 shutout innings. Well, to remind you, Patriot fans, you have a chance to play a role in the success of one of the nation's top programs by joining the Dugout Club. And you hear about the changing landscape of college baseball. You can partner with DBU and show your support by helping to give towards scholarships on IL funding and then Patriot Baseball facilities projects. Click on the QR code on your screen or go to patriotathleticfund.com to give today and invest in champions. Ciervo, Ross, and Hayes, it's 4, 5, and 6. Due up for the Hilltoppers against Ryan Borberg. Borberg today has given up just the 5 hits. It's been zeros across the board of the run column. Ciervo in the cleanup spot. The first pitch, another hit batter. That is unbelievable. It's his 3rd hit batter in just in the last inning. Plus, he hit 2 in the 4th. Now he starts the 5th off. Take a look at that Patriot bullpen. This has not been an issue for Ryan all year. He'd only hit 2 batters prior to today.
Just couldn't control him. Probably a fastball he's trying to throw, but first at bat for Ciervo and more trouble here for Borberg.
You wonder on a day like this, the colder temperatures, if that has anything to do with the grip. It's making it harder for Ryan. It's a ground ball shot in the hole, base hit. Boy, Grady was swung over with Ross at the plate, playing a more to pull, and now 2 pitches into the 5th. And Western Kentucky's threatening. These pitches become more high stress for Borberg as they were in the 4th. Now he got out of it in the 4th with the bases loaded, but now 1st and 2nd for Kyle Hayes.
Again, 9 runners left on base through the first 4 innings of the game. Bases loaded in the 3rd and the 4th, 2 of them in the 2nd. He's had to walk that tightrope.
Kyle Hayes is 5 for 9 in the series. Show and bunt, takes low. He is also hitting .500 over the last 10 games. Hayes is 15 for his last 30. Is he going to try and lay one down? I mean, this is, as much as we talk about Ryan Weidman and Ethan Lizama, right now, Kyle Hayes is the hottest hitter. He turns to bunt. Borberg's gone 2-0. Bullpen's beginning to motor. Zach Todd has got a baseball and beginning to throw. First base side will get the job done. 2 runners in scoring position now on the sac bunt. So Drew Berrigan coming up.
If anything, you're getting to the bottom of the order that hasn't had a ton of opportunity this year. So that's, I guess the silver lining right now after the sacrifice bunt with how well that Hayes has been swinging the bat.
Berrigan is 3 for 3 since coming off the bench yesterday in this series. Singled on the first pitch in the second. Was hit by a pitch on the first pitch in the fourth. And he puts this one in play. Going to get a run home. Graybeck guns him down. Berrigan's had 3 at-bats. He's seen 3 pitches. But Western Kentucky is on the board, so that free pass hit batter gets the run in. You know, we were doing some research before the game how many free bases this year that DBU has allowed for. When you account walks, you take a look at this run scoring. It's Joe Siervo who came in to score after being hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. When you take into account walks, hit batters, as this is Sky down the line, shallow and left, Tatalo comes over and he makes that grab for the 3rd out. But they've allowed for 206 free bases on the year. Thankfully, only one of those comes across in the 5th. But the Hilltoppers are on the board. It's 2-1. DBU on top midway through this one. On our way to the bottom of the 5th, our mid-game recap. Tell you how we got to this 2-1 Patriot lead. Offense early for DBU. Got 2 men on, just some situational hitting here. Humphreys advances a runner, get a run in, and Tom Poole, and then Jay comes in to score on the sac fly. Those are the 2 runs for DBU, but it's been superb defense behind Ryan Borberg today. You look at the arm here at Tom Poole to keep a runner at 3rd. This is maybe the play right now of the game, defensively with the bases loaded by Michael Tatalo.
Yeah, he makes an outstanding play to keep it at that time, a 2-0 ball game. And for Western Kentucky, they get their 1 run the same way the Pats did. A fielder's choice, just a little ground ball out to short. So runs been hard to come by. Patriots have the 2 that they had in the first, but would love to add on to that here.
Taylor Penn's first pitch of the 5th is a swing and a miss by Cody Graybeck. This is a big-time arm on the mound for Penn. You look at the pitcher's frame, 6'5", 200, 20th round pick of the Pirates last July. A minuscule .40 ERA as a senior at Wolford County High School in Versailles, Kentucky. Ball and a strike to Graybeck, trying to get on to start a rally here in the 5th. And that's down the line, shallow left. Siervo is playing in and makes that catch just in foul ground. Out number 1. Go back around to the top of the order to Tom Poole. It was a good start offensively for DBU today. You had the walk to Poole, Jay doubled, and you were off and rolling. You ended up getting 2 runs, but it's been pretty quiet since. Only the only hit was a Bergholtz single, a soft single, back in the 2nd. Only 2 hits today. Poole grounds it foul.
Western Kentucky hasn't hit it great either. But they've had some soft singles that have gotten through, and then of course the free bases that ended up costing DBU a run there in the 5th. So not much offense either way.
Poole's walked twice today. He's down 0-1. Fouls it off the mask of Westbrook. So he's down 0-2. Senior, Canadian from Alberta. Tom Poole, whose average has been above 350 since March the 9th. They missed his bat last week as this is fouled off. In that New Mexico State series, had to come out. Hamstring was bothering him, something that's kind of bothered him really since the Tucson Regional last June. Missed him in last 2 games of that series. Did not play in the Tuesday game against UT Arlington. Pins 0-2. Buried for a ball. Wind continues to blow in from center field today. About 15 miles per hour straight in from center. At times to right. See it right now, kind of blowing towards right field. One-two, and a sliding grab by Vasquez, but it's off of his glove. First base hit for DBU since the 2nd.
Well, they had the extreme shift on him again, 3 on the right side, and Poole is still able to beat the shift just barely. He's hit so many balls hard this weekend that you feel like have gone for outs. This one just off the fringe of the glove of Vasquez, and You don't know the speed that Tom has because of that hamstring, but if he does get going, he's got some really good wheels over there at first.
It's Grant Jay. He's doubled. He's been hit by a pitch. He goes in the air down the right field line. Lizama will watch it sail into the Western Kentucky pen. Jay has extended his streak, reaching base safely now in 33 straight games. We talk about Poole having that kind of nagging injury going back to Tucson Regional. Jay's on base streak goes back to the Tucson Regional. 33 straight for Grant. Takes just above the letters.
This is the 6th trip to the plate for Poole and Jay, and they've been on all previous 5 times.
Dan Hefner kind of tinkering with that lineup today. So I'm going to put the top 2 on-base guys at the top of the order. Let's give them as many at-bats as we can. Poole and Jay.
Oh,
strike called by Juan Garza. One and two, Poole at first. Well, that's a great pitch by Penn. On 2 strikes, down and away. And the bottom just fell out of that one. That would be your slider right there, the slider and the splitter. Let's see at least the depth on it by the slider.
I think it's a split. Well, man, yeah. You say slider, I say splitter. We say we probably don't have any idea, but it dropped.
It's a strikeout. Yeah, they tunnel so well. I mean, you look at the report we have, they're both, the velocities range is about the same. 2 out. Humphreys now. Low and in. High in the air. Lizama circles in. This will be routine. And the Patriots squander an opportunity here in the 5th. With just not much offense today. The cooler temperatures, the wind blowing in. We got a 1-run ball game as we head to the 6th. Back to Horner Ballpark here on this Sunday. DBU and Western Kentucky in a 2-1 game. Patriots on top. Well, one of the bright spots yesterday in that loss, I thought, was the performance of young freshman Athen Kroll on the mound. He comes from an incredibly athletic family. He's got some ties to DBU. And for more on Athen, we welcome Alexis back to the broadcast.
Thanks, Reagan. Yeah, we've seen Athen here and there throughout the season so far. And yesterday, he made his 6th appearance on the mound, where, like you said, he had a pretty solid inning. But he told me he really hasn't had the start to the season he wanted. But it's a work in progress, and there's a lot to learn. He grew up, like you said, in one of the most athletic families you'll find. His dad was a diver and swimmer at the University of Kansas, and his mom played volleyball there too. One of his brothers played football in college, and his other brother, many Patriot fans know because he's been on the basketball team here at DBU for the past 4 years. He said his family's always laughing too because everyone kind of went in their own direction in their own sports, and growing up was kind of a competition in everything they did, even just finishing their homework. I asked him why he decided on DBU because out of high school he had a few major league clubs notice him, but he made it known he was coming here. And he said after talking to Hefner and Kale and seeing that DBU treats you more as a player in person and not as a product, he knew this was the perfect place for him to develop.
Oh, thanks, Alexis. Great report on Athen, who's comes from such a great family. And excited to see his career. This is just baffling today. 4 hit batters since the 4th inning. And it's the 2nd straight inning in which you've hit the first batter. I'd say it's the 3rd straight inning.
I'd say it's the third straight inning. 3 straight innings where the first runner gets on by a hit by pitch.
This is a good bunt. And now the tying run is at 2nd and nearly rounded 2nd to head for 3rd as third base was completely vacated. So Vasquez gets the sac bunt down. With DBU, at times they've just been their own worst enemy.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's going to end up being the last batter that Borberg faces. Tyler Schott's been getting ready in the bullpen. But you hate it because 3 straight innings you have given what has been a scary Western Kentucky offense all weekend long. You have given them a lot of opportunities. You've been able to wiggle out of it. You pitched well for the most part, but those mistakes, you hope it doesn't come back to bite you.
That'll be Ethan Lizama coming up. Ryan Weidman will follow him, and Western Kentucky's got the tying run at second. As Borberg comes out, Tyler Schott coming on. We'll tell you about Tyler's numbers when we come back to Dallas.
Well, it's the series finale from Horner Ballpark. DBU holding on to a 2-1 lead. There's a threat right now for Western Kentucky. A man at second, one away, and DBU goes to the bullpen. As Ryan Borberg done, handing it to Tyler Schott. Borberg went 5 1/3, 1 run, 6 hits, 2 walks. He hit 4 batters, struck out 3, and Tyler Schott's been handed the baseball in a pretty tight spot.
Well, you've got a veteran arm right here. You see the outstanding ERA from Schott this year, and the strikeout to walk stuff has been particularly good. In 8 innings, 13 strikeouts, just a walk, and he's in a big spot right here. Now, Schott has been probably his best over his last 3 outings, 3 consecutive scoreless appearances over 2 2/3 innings for the senior. He grew up nearby in Highland Village, came to DBU from Marcus High School, a program that's produced some great players in DBU baseball history. Colin Poche, who's in the big leagues now with the Washington Nationals. Jimmy Glowinski, who's in Double-A with the Giants, and Ryan Enos, who was an All-American back in 2010. So great stock coming out of Marcus High School. And here is Schott on the mound to face Ethan Lizama. Left on left. First pitch just inside. Maybe down a touch in Juan Garza's mind.
I think it caught all the plate. It had to be down.
Lefties are hitting 167 against Tyler. Big cut and a miss. It's fastball, cutter, sweeper, changeup for Schott. That sweeper's got big sweep and swing and miss action.
He stands on the extreme first base side, too. Makes that angle even tougher left on left.
Fiery competitor in Schott. 1-1. Well, that nearly dropped in and hit it. 2 balls and a strike.
Now, that slider can be so dangerous because it's got the tight spin, but it almost just starts at the hitter. And so for whatever reason, if you're not able to get around on that slider, it can end up being a hit batter.
Tying run at second. Schott's 2-1. Cut on and missed at 82 and on the hands. 2-2 to Lizama. He's 0 for 2 today. He's flying out twice. He's walked once. 3 on the right side of the diamond. The pitch popped him up. Graybeck's calling for it. Sure-handed shortstop makes the grab. That's a huge out. Now 1 more to go with Ryan Weidman at the plate. Well, how you want to handle this situation? You got Weidman, right-hander. You got Joe Sierra in the on-deck circle. I mean, first base is open. Wheels turning a bit right here.
It's not going to be Schotty. They're going to go, you would think, to the bullpen.
There goes Zach Todd,
Yeah.
right on right. Now, Schott comes in. He's been typically more than just a one proposition guy. It was his role early in his career. But they go right on right here. That's a job well done by Schott. To come in and get a big bat in Lizama to get him to pop out. Schott does his job. Now it will be up to Zach Todd, who has really come on strong lately. Right-hander from California is coming in a 1-run ball game when we come back in the 6th.
Well, 1 batter for Tyler Schott, and he does his job as he goes after the lefty Ethan Lizama, gets him to pop out to short. He did 5 pitches to do it, and now it's Zach Todd with a man at second going to have to face Ryan Weidman.
Todd has really emerged in this kind of middle relief role here, and even late innings in the last couple of weeks. 2-0, 5.40 ERA. He's got strikeout stuff, 9 6 2/3. It's a fastball sweeper changeup, and the fastball, good life, 91 to 95. The sweeper has been an outstanding pitch, particularly against right-handers. It tunnels well with the fastball. So it is a terrific matchup right here. His last 2 outings against New Mexico State and UTA, 4 innings. He's not allowed a run. The command at times has been shaky, 4 walks, but he's also had strikeout stuff with 6 punch-outs. You're going to get the ultimate competitor right here in Todd. Are they going to put Weidman on?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so they're going to put Weidman on. Going to intentionally pass him to face Joe Ciervo.
A little bit of gamesmanship there, right? Like, let him get into the box, get ready to hit, and say, no, we're going to send him to first base.
So right on right, now you do put the go-ahead run at first base and a guy in Weidman that can fly. At second base is Brown. Ciervo at the plate, who came off the bench for Marsal on the first pitch, is upstairs for a ball. Started a change-up high at 82. Ciervo's 1 for 6 in the series. All-region performer at Jefferson College transferred in, takes in tight. It's up 2-0. Camden Ross is in that on-deck circle. That is a dangerous hitter coming up. Trying to take care of Ciervo here.
I would think red light here for Ciervo.
There's a strike. Top of the zone, maybe a generous call by Juan Garza. Todd will gladly take it. Look at Ross right there, who on the weekend has 5 hits. It is imperative for Zach to get Ciervo. 2-1, here it comes. Pop back, Todd's got him at 2-2. Well, Ciervo, the junior from Chesterfield, Missouri, who is 1 for 6 in the series, was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Stands back in. Todd, 1 strike away from getting out of the 6th. Here comes the 2-2. Just punched foul, and he tried to throw that sweeper on the corner.
It's a great job at the plate. Ciervo just staying alive. Almost a swinging bunt there just to spoil it.
Todd, who redshirted when he came in 23 from Antigua, California. 9 appearances last year as a freshman, become a dependable arm now. And this one off the glove of Bergholt, and it's going to move 2 runners into scoring position. It's a fastball that just clipped off the glove of Berge, and boy, now you put 2 in scoring position.
And Todd missing a spot. They wanted to try and go down. He goes upstairs. Bergholt can't react fast enough. Base hit can give the Hilltoppers the lead.
The 3-2 way outside, went sweeper. Just started it too far off the plate, so well, now you've got him loaded for Camden Ross. Boy, this is a run-saving play right here by Berge. It's not easy with that sweep action.
You wanted to face Ross to start off the 7th, not with the bases loaded the way he's been swinging it. Hit batter, intentional walk, and then unintentional walks while the bases are loaded.
First pitch to Ross, swing and a miss at 91. Ross has been on base twice today. He's got 5 hits in the series, including a home run and 6 RBIs. A top 100 prospect by D1 Baseball this year's MLB draft. So this is a big slugger right here. Strike call, now he's down 0-2. Ross has struck out once this weekend. Make it twice. Zach Todd blows him away with heat up and in. A huge punch out for Zach, and that gets out of a bases loaded jam. Western Kentucky has stranded 13 today. Todd does his job. Pat's coming up, bottom of the 6th, leading by 1. Cold day at the ballpark. Mid-40s, wind blowing in from the north. DBU's got a 2-1 lead. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Krause, Grady, Talo, all coming up. Take a look around Conference USA. We looked at the standings earlier. Louisiana Tech's playing 2 today against FIU. They win game 1, 13-5. So La Tech tied atop the standings with Western Kentucky. Chance to sweep a good FIU club today. Liberty just routs Middle Tennessee, 12-2. Sweep that series. New Mexico State on top of Sam Houston, who won yesterday. Sam stealing one, but that New Mexico State club, one of the most improved teams in the league under Jake Angier.
Patriots really need this one here today. Can't afford to fall back that far in one series, already a couple of games back.
Kraus taps it foul.
Got to solve the freshman on the mound. He's been great.
He has been. You can see why the Pirates liked him so much in the Major League draft. Picked up in the 20th round last year. 0-1. Kraus through the middle. That's going to run a while. Ryan Weidman was late getting there. Kraus never broke stride. He's got a double. Well, Joe Ciervo just gave way to Ryan Weidman, and because he did, Cody Colton said, go ahead and take second base, Chayton. It's a leadoff double.
Yeah, that's heads up. Get a really good looker. You can see already there's a little bit of a shift, so the ball kind of goes into no man's land, but boy, that is Ciervo's ball all the way. And you can even see based on his reaction, he was a little confused as to who was going to take that baseball, and Chayton never slows down.
It's Krause's 10th double of the year. Grady trying to move him to third. Foul ball.
Well, you've got to take advantage of something like that.
Another run just seems massive today. The way the park is playing, cold temperatures, wind blowing in, and you've just been teetering all day with this Western Kentucky team, who's left the bases loaded 3 times. Can Grady get it down? He does. It's a great one, too. The third base side, and Brown can't field it. Boy, Keaton Grady put down a perfect bunt. I don't know if Brown fields that if he's got to play. That was a thing of perfection right there.
Oh, he's got the wheels. And that would have been bang, bang. It goes down correctly, in my opinion, as a base hit. Patriots threatening here. And Detallo, who had been bumped down, not really for his own doing, just kind of the way that the lineup is set up, he gets a big opportunity in the 6 hole.
First and third. Dottie looking to hit something hard right here, get that third run in. Crucial insurance run 90 feet away. Pins pitch in there for a strike. Oh, you always got first and third action in your mind with Grady, good speed at first. Westbrook, limited time behind the plate this year, 10 starts, 2 of 8 throwing out base stealers. Good lead at first by Grady. The 0-1's up and in. Detallo this year in these situations, runner at third, less than 2 out, has been perfect. He's 4 of 4 in getting that runner home. Can he do it here? Upper run. Slow chopper foul. It's 0 for 2 today, a couple of ground outs. Pins 2-strike pitch. He went upstairs and got him. Boy, 90 miles per hour right there to Detallo. Only strikes out for the 15th time this year. There's 1 out.
As a well-placed fastball from Penn. As you get it to a spot where all that Dottie's going to be able to do if he can touch it is foul it off. And now, first and third, 1 out. I think it opens up that opportunity even more for the Patriots to get some first and third action.
Ben Tryon has grounded out twice to the right side. You got to stay out of the double play here. First pitch low and in. If Benny can just elevate one and get that run home. Looking for that third RBI. Boy, would it be a big one. Double play depth up the middle, even on the corners. And that's off the glove of Westbrook. Here comes Kraus. Throw to the plate. Chayton's in there. Oh, my. And was that a hard collision at home plate with Taylor Penn? Kraus slow to get up. Well, he came in with an awkward slide. The way Penn just blocked home plate. Well, that's a massive humanity coming down on Penn right there at home plate.
It ended up a lot closer than I was expecting. They've already asked Mark Reardon in that WKU dugout to take a look at it. Yeah, the slide, the collision there, you got Penn flying in at 6'5". You got Creighton coming in at 6'3". It's all about 425 pounds of man coming at each other there, and just an awkward collision. Now you're hoping that the hand got away or got around, and this run's going to count.
Now the call by Juan Garza is safe. I think it's the left hand of Chayton that gets in before that tag. Or maybe the right hand. It's the right hand. It's the right hand. Yeah.
And I think as Penn was in an awkward spot, he's got to try and just throw the glove down behind him, and I think Kraus just snuck in.
Well, it's a great play by Penn to have the wherewithal to just throw that glove behind him and hope and pray that he makes that tag. Watch the right hand of Kraus get down and touch home. I think there's anything there that would tell you any different than a safe call.
Because you see that hand kind of goes down on the ground as it pops up a little bit. The glove gets on there, but you just don't know when the hand originally touches the plate based on that angle. Here, they may try to push some of that together. Tough call. And it's, again, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. When that ball bounced off of Westbrook, I thought it was an easy run. I don't know if Chayton hesitated a moment.
With that brick backstop, you're going to get those kind of bounces, and there can be a play at the plate. If it just comes back right, that's good to see a smile from Chayton Kraus. He came in, and he was slow to get up. And you're worried if he came in and whether just the collision there with the knee or maybe with the hand, the awkward slide. Here we've got a rule. This is a big call here. Will that run stand? Connor Hoagland? It is confirmed. He's safe. 3-1 DBU on that wild pitch, and the Patriots, or the pass ball, and the Patriots have got a 2-run lead now. And you're out of the double play situation. Grady moves up a bag to second, so wait for Tryon. A base hit here. You tack on another run.
2-0-2, and Grady's going to try and get to third.
Tryon swing, a major league shallow fly ball. Popped up. This is not easy. The shortstop, Berrigan, circling around and made that grab. Boy, Grady easily had third stolen. Watch Berrigan right here, where he starts and where he finishes.
Well, there's two things there. You watch Berrigan. Grady had third base stolen. And in hindsight, I think Tryon would have loved to let that one go and then see if he can get something in the air with a 2-1 count. Berrigan looking up like, are you kidding me? That's the route that I had to take?
It's nearly a perfect circle that he made. So he records that out. It's Adam Bergholt in there for a strike. So 3-1 DBU. Bergie's 1 for 2, singled in the second, grounded out to third back in the fourth. And another pop-up. Penn was calling for it. Now the first baseman, Hayes, has got it to retire the side. But DBU adds an insurance run in the sixth. Got a 3-1 lead on that pass ball that scored Chayton Kraus as we head to the seventh.
Well, it's 3-1 Patriots as we go to the seventh. Here's how we've gotten here, at least in terms of how Borberg has been able to escape at times. They left the bases loaded, Western Kentucky did in the third. This play by Michael Detallo in the fourth. And then Zach Todd in the sixth inning helps leave the bases loaded. 13 runners left altogether for Western Kentucky as this Patriots staff of Borberg, Schott, and Todd walking that fine line to perfection thus far.
Now they put themselves in some tough spots. Western Kentucky's not hit the ball hard today, but when you've needed it most, you've been able to come through those big outs. I love having Zach Todd on the mound in this situation. You just see the fiery competitor that he is, the emotion that he shows to get out of the sixth, now into the seventh. You want a guy that wants the baseball in these innings. Tyler Schott's that kind of guy. Zach Todd's that guy. You got him on the mound here in the seventh.
Here's the first pitch to Hayes, and that is in there for strike one. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Dylan Schlegel that has taken over in left field for Ben Tryon. And it is. 0-1, good pitch. Down and away. So 0-2 to Hayes, who had a sac bunt his last time. He's 1 for 2 today. And he's gone on 3 pitches. Pretty slider from Zach Todd. 1 down in the 7th. He's got back-to-back Ks.
And you haven't been able to solve the mystery of Camden Ross and Kyle Hayes all weekend. Zach Todd says, let me have a crack at him. He strikes out Ross on 3 pitches, and he does the same to Hayes.
Went fastball to Ross, that sweeper to Hayes, and now he's got Drew Berrigan, and he goes with the breaker again that finds the outside corner. Berrigan, the junior. Been on twice today, a single. He's been hit by a pitch. Had an RBI, the only RBI today for the Tops, on a ground out to short. Couple of hits yesterday coming off the bench. Shoots this one foul towards his own dugout. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. Todd, 2 shutout innings against UTA on Tuesday. This ball slapped foul by Berrigan to stay alive. Also had a couple of scoreless innings last week against New Mexico State. ERA's been falling. It's at 386 now. The 1-2. Just getting a piece is Berrigan to stay alive. Back into the Patriots bullpen. Been a question this year. Todd has been a big part of the success, as this is a ground ball out to second. Easy play by Keaton Grady. He'll go to first. Berrigan is retired, and there's 2 down in the 7th. It's Anthony Westbrook. Try and get something going with 2 down. Be the 20th win of the season for the Patriots if they can hold on. Trying to figure out exactly what they want to do defensively, as it was going to be Anthony Westbrook, but it will be Kyle Vidston who's going to step in and hit for the Hilltoppers.
It's another one of those good options that they've got off the bench. Hadn't played a ton, but he's made it happen when he's had his opportunities.
First pitch to Vidston is in there for strike 1. Vidston in his junior season out of Minnesota. Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's played now in 22 games, has 17 starts under his belt. He's hitting .267. See, driven in the 9 runs, got 5 extra base hits, and now he's down on a ball and 2 strikes. He didn't like the call from Juan Garza, but now he's down in a hole at 1-2. The pitch from Todd, he got him with the slider. Zach Todd with a 1-2-3 7th inning. Feeling good as he heads to the dugout for the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1 Patriots after a perfect frame from Zach Todd.
Stretch time at the ballpark in Dallas, where DBU's got a 3-1 lead. And Western Kentucky is making a pitching change, as the freshman had a good day. Taylor Penn goes 3 innings. When she gives up just the 1 earned run, 3 hits through 35 pitches. Take a look at our upcoming schedule, as DBU on the road against Oklahoma on Tuesday. That'll be a big one. You beat Oklahoma 11-0 early in the season. Sooners coming off a sweep against LSU. We'll be excited to see DBU at the ballpark on Tuesday, and then on the road against Jacksonville State on the road on weekend there at Rudy Abbott Field in Jacksonville, Alabama. So Trayson Peters is now taking over for Taylor Penn.
Peters in his senior season, he is intimidating figure on the mound, 6'7", 235 pounds, out of Cottonwood, Arizona. And he will take the mound for the 8th time this season, only his 3rd out of the bullpen. 1-0 this year, a 4.01 ERA, Walks have been an issue, 16 of them in 24 2/3. He struck out 22 batters. In fact, he was the opening day starter for Western Kentucky, and he stayed in that role for the first 5 weeks of the season. But he has transitioned a little bit to head to the bullpen. That's someone they thought high enough to make him the opening day starter, and he fires strike one. Fastball at 92, and he is a 5-pitch guy. Fastball, sinker, cutter, slider, changeup. Ability to throw all 5 for a strike, and here he goes fastball again. This one at 94, and it's 0-2.
I'm almost convinced you got to be a 5-pitch guy to pitch for Dylan Napoleon. It seems like every one of those guys are 5-pitch guys.
If not, he'll make you throw a 5th one pretty
Right.
quick. Graybeck grounds this one into the hole at third. Berrigan, nice play. Throws across his body, moving away from the bag. He's able to get his counterpart, Cody Graybeck, one away as Tom Poole coming up. Had a chance for an infield single, but Berrigan got around the ball, didn't have to go to the backhand. So one down, Tom Poole here against Peters. He was not giving up a run out of the bullpen. All the runs as a starter. Again, just his 3rd appearance out of the pen. There's strike one. To Tom Poole, who's been on all 3 times today. 2 walks. Infield single his last time up in the 5th inning. He's quickly down here. No balls and 2 strikes. Came in 2nd on the team in on-base percentage. He's raised that to .511. Takes low for a ball. Grant J, that's what his on-base was coming in at .511. So 2 best on-base guys hitting 1 and 2 today in the lineup. First time for Tom being in that leadoff role. Down and away, and Tom has worked it back to a 2-ball, 2-strike count. He's seen his fair share of pitches today, ahead of Grant J. Goes full. 3 and 2.
A 3rd time in his 4 at-bats, he's gotten to a 3-ball count.
My quick math, this is the 22nd pitch that he has seen in 4 at-bats today. And he gets on by way of a walk. Oh, and a guy that just will not give in, not going to expand the strike zone even with 2 strikes, and he's able to work the walk and get on for Grant J.
Well, he is something else. Just such a keen eye. Team high 28 walks on the season. You've got some options there at the top of the order. You ever see Michael Detallo, who handles the bat so well? Don't be shocked if Tom Poole might just kind of settle into that role. The number of pitches that guy sees to set the table for your offense, the guys behind him.
It had been Nathan Humphreys at times, Michael Detallo at times. Now Tom Poole getting that opportunity. Yeah, Hump goes from leadoff to middle of the order. Always mixing and matching, trying to find what combination works best. 1-0 to Grant. Fouls this one off to the right. Grant 1 for 2, had a double in the 1st inning. Came around to score a run. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. And then struck out on an off-speed pitch from Taylor Penn in the 5th inning. Got Tom at first base. 1-1, he takes inside. 2 balls and a strike. Just the plate discipline from Grant. Seen that develop from his freshman year to his sophomore year to his junior year. That's been something that's been a joy to watch. The 2-1 fouled away, and it feels like that just continues to improve.
You know, he started his career, his first month of the season, seemed like he had just a very keen eye, almost too patient. And then the home run started coming. He became a real free swinger, and you're right. I think he's just put it all together this year. You're seeing every part of the game. Power, patience. He's an elite hitter right now at this point in his career.
Called strike 3 on a fastball. That is said to have caught the inside part of the plate. So Grant J gone on strikes. 2 away.
That may have gotten right there at the letters. I thought initially it wasn't. You can see it come across the letters, and Grant didn't think so. It's a tough one. I mean, it could probably go either way right there.
Well, 2 down now for Nathan Humphreys. 0 for 3, does have an RBI on a ground out back in the first inning. First ball swinging here, and he hits it pretty well to right field. Back goes Ethan Lazama, and that ball's going to get out of here. Ninth time this season that Hump has gone yard. 2 more insurance runs, and it's 5-1 Patriots in the 7th.
Boy, there is the biggest hit of the game. What you're looking for, it's so hard on a day like this, but if you're going to get it out, it's going to go to right field. Humphreys was looking for one spot, and he got it. That looked to be middle in, and he just crushed it. Down that line and right. That's a hanging breaking ball. Maybe right in there above the belt. And it was a no-doubter. Boy, that gives you a little, the breathing room you're looking for.
5-1 the score, but home run there with 2 outs from Nathan Humphreys. Chayton Krause is up. Now Humphreys, after going hitless yesterday, is able to make a big swing here, extend this lead out to 4. Still got work to do with this offense. You got 6 outs to play with. Mason Peters starting to fire in the bullpen. It's been Zach Todd who's gotten the last 4. 1-1 to Chayton. And he takes 2 balls and a strike. 55 home runs now on the season for the Patriots. Their first one this weekend.
Yeah. It came in 10th in the nation in home runs, 13th in scoring. Scoring's been down this weekend. Yeah, but it came in with, 54 now, 55. But this is, I mean, again, the conditions this weekend, colder, wind blowing in, but also Western Kentucky, that's only the 13th home run they've allowed. I mean, they just don't give up home runs. Again, they play in a bigger ballpark. They played 21 games at home. But
2-2, hit sharply into left field for a base hit. That's another 2-hit day for Chayton Krause.
Well, that's just another day at the park for Chayton, isn't it? The hits just come in bunches.
He says
just
guy. 2?
Right. It's his 11th multi-hit game of the year. Boy, the guy is just about 130 career hits, and he just arrived last season. He just hits the ball all over the yard.
Well, he's got multiple hits. 3 out of the last 4. I guess 3 out of the 4 games this weekend. Has a hit in all 4. Now Keaton Grady will have a chance, and he goes in the air to left field. Ciervo charging in. He is there, and he makes the catch. But the Patriots get 2 more insurance runs. Their first home run of the weekend. Nathan Humphreys, his 9th of the year, and it makes it a 5-1 ball game as we're going to the 8th inning. Back here at Horner Ballpark, Patriots trying to get the final game of this series. Take a look at our game summary. 5-1 DBU as they get their last 2 on that home run from Nathan Humphreys. Ryan Borberg was good in the start. The bullpen had Tyler Schott in a left-on-left role, and now Zach Todd, who's been so good the last couple of times out. Been able to pitch around a couple of singles from Vasquez, and Western Kentucky got some work to do if they want to sweep.
Now 6 big outs left to get. Todd back on the mound. You got Peters ready. Fire that bullet as well. Right now it's on Zach Todd.
He's got exactly 2 innings in his last 2 appearances as number 9 hitter Henry Brown takes the breaking ball for strike 1. It was 2 scoreless on Tuesday, 2 scoreless last Saturday against New Mexico. Up and in. Trying to go at least 2 for the 4th time this year. He also did it against UTSA. Lazy fly ball to right, drifting a little bit. And that catch will be made. That's Dylan Schlegel, who's now in right field, and I believe Tom Poole went over to left. So I don't think I was lying that
right.
Schlegel was in left field
was.
his last time.
Yeah.
So Tom Poole now to left, Dylan Schlegel in right.
See how that ball's got carried, though, to right field? I'm with you off the bat. It didn't look like anything harmless, but if it gets up, because that wind is picked up and it is blowing now just straight to right, that had some more carry to it.
Carlos Vasquez tries to go the other way. Leadoff man for Western Kentucky. He has been effective this weekend. A couple times on base Friday. 2 base hits yesterday, and he's been on twice and also has a sacrifice bunt to his credit today. Hits this in the air to right. Schlegel being tested, and he makes the play. So 2 down now. Ethan Lizama is coming up. I can't say enough about what Zach Todd has done really the last 3 times out.
It's the best we've seen him in his career. You know, he flashed some signs of brilliance last year in the pen. He's just taken another jump this year. He's a redshirt sophomore.
Ethan Lizama takes high for ball 1. He's trying to extend his hit streak to 10 games. 0 for 3 with a walk. He's reached in 19 straight. Bottom of the zone, 1-1. Hit .309 last year after transferring from Gulf State College. Part of the all-tournament team last year in Conference USA. His pitch outside, 2-1. He had been hitting cleanup the first 2 games in the series. Flips up here to hit second. And it's out a 2-ball, 2-strike count. First 2 reached against Zach Todd, an intentional walk, then another walk, but since then, he's gotten 6 straight. Got eyes on 7 against Lizama, and this count will now run full.
He struck out 2 of their big hitters this weekend, Ross and Hayes. Can he add Lizama to that list?
3-2 pitch. Staying alive. Trying to extend it for Weidman in the on-deck circle. DBU had a 2-0 lead until the 5th, and then after it was 2-1, they were able to put a run on the board in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. Todd's 3-2 just misses away for ball 4. So second walk of the day for Ethan Lizama. And Weidman's got a chance here with 2 down. And you feel better because one swing cannot tie up the ball game or give you the lead. But Weidman is not going to face Zach Todd. As Dan Hefner comes out of that DBU dugout, and it appears he is asking for Mason Peters. As Peters sees that bullpen gate open, he comes charging in, and he'll take the baseball from Zach Todd. 2 strong innings from the big right-hander, that he will turn it over to Mason Peters, who will probably try to get the final 4 outs of this one. Runner at first, 2 away. Peters trying to end it here in the top of the 8th here at Horner Ballpark.
Well-deserved hand for Zach Todd today. 2 shutout frames. Walk 3, you can really say 2. 1 was an intentional walk that unfortunately goes to his ledger, but 3 strikeouts for Todd. Take a look at the strikeout stuff today from Zach. Everything working. Fastball, sweeper. Big strikeouts of Ross and Hayes, and there's another one on the sweeper. That's what you're going to get with Zach. He pitches with a lot of emotion, and you got to love it. As he is bridged this to Mason Peters now with a chance to win Game 3. There is Mason Peters, the lefty on the hill.
As Peters going to try and probably get the last 4 outs here. His 12th appearance of the season, .460 the ERA. 21 strikeouts, 15 2/3 on the mound. He's walked 8. He's got 3 saves to his credit this season. He's got the fastball, the curveball, the slider, can throw the changeup as well. And he will face Ryan Weidman. Intentionally walked his last time. He'll swing it with a man at first and a 4-run deficit for the Hilltoppers. And the lefty in Peters fires first pitch for ball one. Mason had 5 games off. Pitched against TCU and then missed the Middle Tennessee series as well as ACU last week in game 1 against New Mexico State, but he threw in both the final 2 games against the Aggies last week in Las Cruces. Had an inning of shutout baseball on Saturday, struck out the side to pick up the save, and faced 2 batters, retired one of them, walked one in the Sunday finale. Originally out of Waco, in a 2-0 hole here. There's a strike. Mason Peters at 94 miles an hour. One of the toughest hitters in the country in Weidman. Trying to extend the inning in the 8th. 3-1. You got Joe Ciervo in the on-deck circle. Don't want to give away another base here. Put that tying run in the on-deck circle. Three and one to Weidman. And a ground ball out to third. Ditalo's going to just take the play at first, and he is out, and the inning is over. Oh, DBU strands a runner at first. Mason Peters does his job to get Ryan Weidman. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. 4-run advantage.
Michael Ditalo coming up this inning. He'll lead things off with DBU up 5-1. He's going to see a different pitcher. Trayson Peters has come out. 1 inning in which he gave up the 2-run blast to Nate Humphreys. So Pats are going to get a look at the closer here for Western Kentucky. Just a chance for Evan Jones to get in this weekend. And they've not been able to get on the mound. But take a look at Jones's numbers. They're awfully impressive.
Jones was not called upon in the 1-run game on Friday as they felt pretty good about what they were going to get on the mound in the 9th from Cal Higgins, who shut it down. But it's Evan Jones who leads the team in saves with 4. Only 1 walk in 10 innings, 14 strikeouts. .80 is the ERA. And he's out of Normal, Illinois in his redshirt sophomore season. He's got a fastball and a slider mix. Fastball, good life to it, in the low to mid-90s. He went to University High School. That sits pretty much right across the street from Duffy Bass Field, where Illinois State out of the Missouri Valley plays in Normal, Illinois. But Jones comes to Western Kentucky, was a redshirt, then had 17 appearances last year out of the bullpen, and a .458 ERA. So first appearance this weekend, second of the week. He was the losing pitcher against Vandy, or at least he was on the field. The walk-off loss in the 10th as their strike 1 to Michael Ditalo. It was a infield single. I say the 10th, actually the 11th inning. Western Kentucky nearly pulled off the upset there. They've already taken the series here. Ditalo is swinging a miss. And I think if you would have told Mark Reardon that you're going to go 2-2 the week against DBU and Vanderbilt, he would have taken it, but he would love a comeback. Going to have to be a big one. He had eyes on a 3-1 week. Dottie can't hold up, 0-2 slider, and Evan Jones gets the strikeout. So impressive stuff there, 3 pitches, and Dottie's gone.
And this is 1-2. As you look at this slider right here from Jones, how sharp that is. You see why he's got closer-type stuff. This is a weekend, if you can close this thing out in the 9th, I mean, you're 1 run away. You know, you think about that tying run at second base on Friday night, a chance to tie that game. If you find a way to win that one, you're a chance to have a 3-1 week. Instead, you end up at 2-2 and you drop a series to Western Kentucky. But this is an important ball game today to try to finish out.
Dylan Schlegel played the last couple innings in the outfield. Took over for Ben Tryon in left. Eventually flip-flop with Tom Poole and took to right field. Schlegel at .227 average. He's ahead now at 2 balls and no strikes. Had a career day on Tuesday against UTA. A couple of hits, 3 RBIs. He's driven in 5 runs on the season. Grounds one sharply, just foul down the third base line. Bid for extra bases, but now the count is at 2-1. It'll be at least a 4-run lead in the ninth. It'll be the heart of the order for Western Kentucky. 4, 5, and 6, Ciervo, Ross, and Hayes. That will be due up against Mason Peters, who got the final out of the 8th inning. Schlegel showing bunt with the infield back. Takes low, 3 balls and a strike. Brown and Berrigan way back on the left side. Same for Vasquez and Hayes on the right. 3-1, not close. Schlegel's on with the walk. Yet speed at first base. Adam Bergholt coming up.
Yeah, talk about that speed. I mean, Schlegel is perfect. What, 5 for 5 in the stolen base department? Just depends on how quick Jones is to the mound. Try to steal another run here in the 8th.
Here's Bergholt, 1 for 3. Singled back in the 2nd. Trying to extend this lead here. 5-1 Patriots. They've scored in the last 2 frames. Berge sees the slider. Just low for ball 1. Groans from that Western Kentucky dugout. Sitting at 27-4 are the Hilltoppers. Patriots trying to hand them just the 5th loss of the year. There goes the runner. Pitch is inside. Throw to second. Schlegel is safe. Thought about another base, but smartly just grabs the helmet. Stays perfect on the base paths.
That is one of the things they loved about Schlegel the most is his speed. It's elite. And as he starts cracking the lineup and getting more at-bats, if this guy is able to become a guy that's a high on-base percentage guy, well, he may set your steals record. He's got that kind of speed. He is blazing fast.
He's got a big lead at second base. There's Bergholt. Ground ball hit softly out to short. Berrigan's got it. 2 down in the 8th inning. Cody Graybeck coming to the plate. Well, for the Hilltoppers, they looking ahead at their schedule. They've got Southern Indiana at home, but then their next 4 on the road after that, on the road at Liberty, and then they take on Louisville the next Tuesday on the road. So more tests coming up for the Hilltoppers. They will then flip-flop home and away series the rest of the way in conference play before you get to the conference tournament. Ball 1 here against Graybeck. Patriots, of course, have Oklahoma coming up on Tuesday.
It's an interesting schedule for DBU, particularly in the midweeks. You had all your kind of Big 12 opponents at home early in the year. They're all coming up on the road now, beginning with Oklahoma. You go Oklahoma on Tuesday, TCU the following Tuesday, then at Oklahoma State on April 22nd. It's an important stretch coming up.
It gets late quick in the college baseball season. 2-1.
Yeah, Oklahoma will be looking to get back kind of their winning ways. That's going to be a big game for them on Tuesday. TCU's rolling right now. Oklahoma State's been the one that's down, but chance for them today to win a big series against Kansas State, a nationally ranked team.
Good pitch, 2-2. I always feel like Oklahoma State's going to come out of that.
They are today, 7-0 in the top of the 8th.
2-2 here. Graybeck trying to get home another insurance run. Hits it in the air to right field. Long run for Lazama, and he's going to be able to make the catch knee high. And the inning comes to an end. So Schlegel with the 1-out walk. He's still second. He is stranded in scoring position. We are going to the 9th. Patriots 3 outs away from taking game 3.
Pat's trying to win one here on this Sunday against Western Kentucky. It would be their 20th win of the year. They've led today since the first inning. Scored 2 in the first. Western Kentucky scored a run in the 5th, but then DBU a run back in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Big hit today, Nate Humphreys' home run. But I think the other part of the storyline is Western Kentucky's had chances, 13 runners stranded. And the Patriot pitching, when they've had to come up big, they have today.
And the 3 times that they've been able to strand the bases loaded, so the pitching staff's wobbled, but they have not fallen down quite yet. Good at bats there at the top of the order from Tom Poole. Doing just enough, just playing baseball at first inning. It's a fielder's choice, a sacrifice fly. And another one, obviously the big swing, that home run, but doing just enough against a really good pitching staff.
So Mason Peters to the 9th, fastball at 94 for strike 1 to Joe Ciervo. Came off the bench today in the 4th inning for left fielder Thomas Marsali. He's been on base twice, hit by a pitch and walked. Ryan Borberg would be in line for the win. 5 1/3 today with just 1 run allowed. Peters just misses off the corner. But the bullpen today, to this point, has done their job. Shot a 1/3 of an inning. Got the one man he faced, Zach Todd. Superb today. 2 shutout. And now he's got Ciervo at 1 and 2. Not a save situation here for Peters, but 4-run lead. He's trying to close this thing down. His 1-2. Got him on the curve. Boy, that is a plus pitch from the lefty. It just fell out of the sky, and Ciervo watches for strike 3.
That's got to be a helpless feeling, is you just buckled and that thing ends up just splitting the plate in half. Ciervo sort of left guessing. You can see he immediately knew it. Good start here to the 9th by Peters.
Camden Ross. What a series he's had. Today's 1 for 3. 5 for 9 on the weekend. You could say he had the biggest hit of the weekend. The home run on Friday in the 3rd inning, a 3-run blast. They win 4-3. That was the difference. Grounded to short. Graybeck's got it. 2 down, 1 to go. You know, that ball doesn't leave the ballpark. You may be looking right here, 1 out to win a series.
Yeah. It's funny, 27 innings. I guess it was actually 25 innings of baseball this weekend, and you can pinpoint one swing that sort of changed the whole series. But it's got to be a thrill for the Hilltoppers that they got Ross swinging again, because he had been cold, but he looked like a complete hitter this weekend.
Here's another one in Kyle Hayes. Big cut and a miss. 94 for Mason. It's been all DBU today. It's been a great response. Peters 0-1. 1 strike to get. Looking to get your 20th win of the year. Get back to a game within Western Kentucky of first place in the conference standings. Peters at 0-2 to Hayes. Up and away. Really, kind of a check of Louisiana Tech. They would be the one that if they won today in that final game, I guess they would climb into first. They would get a sweep of FIU. A ball and 2 strikes. Peters ready. Here it comes. Grounder in the hole. Graybeck's got it. Pats win it. 5-1 today over Western Kentucky. Salvage the series, win for the 20th time this year. And we'll get ready to head to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners on Tuesday.
I never want to overstate the importance of one ball game, but this is one you really felt like you had to get after dropping the first 2. Keeps you right there in the hunt. You're going to be a couple games back of first with a lot of time to play in conference. Did not want to fall down to the hands of a sweep against Western Kentucky, who just continues to play the Patriots really tough the last couple of seasons.
Visit with Dan Hefner here in just a moment. Zach Todd, our player of the game. Chat with him as well as the Patriots get a big one this afternoon. Always good to end the series on a high note, even if you drop the series. And today, nice win for DBU, down 20-11 on the season. as we catch up with Patriots head coach Dan Hefner. And Dan, a gritty win today and a nice way to finish the weekend. What can you tell us about just the message maybe yesterday and really how your club responded today was great?
Yeah, I thought they responded really well. Message is just, it's consistent. It really doesn't change throughout the season, win or lose. Like we're constantly looking for things that, what do we do well? What can we do better? And how do we implement those things? But one thing we did talk about is that, the response is the thing that really matters. Like baseball is a game where, it's a tough game and you're not always going to be successful when you do it as a pitcher, a hitter, team. But, failure is if you don't respond well and you're not looking forward to that next at bat, the next pitch, the next outing, the next game. And just kind of talked about that. That's our focus today, is how are we going to respond, and that needs to be the focus. After a bad at bat, after a bad pitching outing, it's success is responding well and being excited to get out there again.
You guys get set for a 5-game road trip coming up, but even just watching today, it felt like the energy was still right there in the dugout. It never dipped. How important was that to come out with that energy, to strike first early after the way the first 2 games had gone?
Yeah, I thought that was big, and I really, not just striking first offensively, it's what we do on the mound. Like pitching is where your confidence comes from, and to have Borberg go out there and put up a 0 in the first and be steady, like that's a big thing. And then offensively, we had some good at bats in the first inning there. But really, it all starts on the mound. Like if you're good on the mound, you're going to be a good team, and that gives your team confidence. And Borberg did a great job for us.
Yeah, great way to finish the weekend, Dan. And I can't wait for Tuesday at Oklahoma.
Thank you.
That's Patriots head coach Dan Hefner. DBU winning today 5-1. Our player of the game, Zach Todd, as Dan talks about, it starts on the mound. You got a great start today for Ryan Borberg, 5 1/3, 1 run, and then the bullpen just picks up where Borberg left off. Shot a third of an inning. He did his job. He hands the ball to Zach Todd, and Zach was superb today. 2 innings of shutout baseball. And Zach, congratulations on an outstanding outing. I want to ask you go to the 6th inning today, bases loaded situation, and you strike out Camden Ross, a guy who's really been a tough out this weekend. You get him on 3 pitches. Take us back just to that moment and just your sequence there.
I mean, Borberg did his job today, and I think that's the big thing is he really did his job. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to try to do mine for the team. I didn't know it was on 3 pitches, but I mean, yeah, he's been hot all weekend, and to get him shut down on a bases loaded, that's huge. And yeah, I mean, praise God, that was awesome.
Well, it's been great to see the last 3 outings. You've gone 2 innings. It's been 3 shutout innings. What do you feel like maybe has been the difference for you over the last couple of weeks as you're throwing the ball really well right now?
I think this team is just getting closer and closer, and it's so easy to pitch when, you got, 41 guys in the dugout, and it's so easy to come back in this dugout knowing you have the support. I mean, the Lord has blessed me. I've truly gotten closer with him, and I mean, he has just blessed me, and I can't give enough praise to him.
We're watching the highlights here of you here in the booth, and one thing that always is so much fun to watch is your emotion on the mound. You are fired up, and you got to love it. As a Patriot fan, a guy that wants the baseball, take us into that. How do you feed off of that? Because it seems like once you get one, you just kind of start rolling.
Oh my gosh, it's not me. I'm a very relaxed guy, but when it comes to the mound, and the guys love it, and so if they love it, I'm gonna keep doing it for them. And the fact that they blow up when I blow up, I mean, that's just the brotherhood we got here is awesome. And so if I could do that to fire them up, it's nice.
Well, outstanding work. I know your family is probably watching today back in California. Excited to see. Outstanding job today, Zach.
Thank you. Love you, Mom.
All right, Zach Todd today with an outstanding job. 2 shutout frames as the Pats win it 5-1 to claim the series finale today here in Dallas. Step away, short break. We'll wrap things up when we come back. Patriots win it today 5-1 over Western Kentucky. They take the finale of the series. They're 20-11 on the season. 2-2 on the week as they get ready to go to Oklahoma. As a team visits with Patriots head coach Dan Hefner. We're back here in the booth, Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith. And for DB, I love the message Dan shared with us there post-game. It's always consistency with him. Even with yesterday, 11-0 loss, fans upset. We're probably up in the booth a little emotional as well. But for him, it's just always the model of consistency, and the team showed up today.
Yeah, and I think you just, at the end of the day, you had to look back and say it's the game of baseball, and you're playing a really good team that has this gaudy record for a reason. And they're coming out here and they're wanting to win too. And both sides, it's going to happen. And so you don't love the way that it went down yesterday. Thought Friday was just a well-played baseball game. And as we talked about, you're 1 or 2 plays away from this thing being flipped, and this ended up being a rubber match and the Patriots winning the series. So you needed to come back, get the win today, still keep yourself right there in the mix against what looks like Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech, and if anybody else sneaks up there in the top of the conference standings.
Pitching was really the story today. What you got from Ryan Borberg, Zach Todd, Mason Peters closed it out. Not to get lost in this, when you needed some insurance, Nate Humphreys came up with one big swing.
Yes, first, looking at what you got on the mound, 5 1/3 from Borberg. Now, he did end up hitting a few batters, which was a bit concerning, but only ends up walking 2 batters, striking out 3. Tyler Schott does his job, and then Zach Todd, that's kind of been his role the last few weeks, just go 7th or 8th inning, get us to the 9th, and then Mason Peters, even though it wasn't a save, still a high leverage situation. And yeah, you felt much better at 3-1 than you did 2-1, and then when you got to 5-1, it helps you take just that deep breath, and the Patriots were able to finish the job. So all around, needed that today, and they got it from both sides.
DBU now gets ready to go on the road, take on Oklahoma. It's to be a Sooners team that's going to want to get back to the win column.
Yeah, Oklahoma is a team that the Patriots always seem to play well. Oklahoma Sooner fans get upset sometimes. Why are they always on the schedule? They're constantly winning against us, and so the Patriots will look to take that season series and continue to stack resume-building wins on their ledger.
That'll be a big one on Tuesday. DBU goes to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners for the second and final time this year. Patriots win it 5-1 today over Western Kentucky. For Alexis De La Garza and my broadcast partner Brendan Smith, as well as our entire crew, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe saying good night and God bless from Dallas, Texas. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.